by describing it.
Oh, wow.
That's kind of the future Meta's hinting at with this new AI tool. It's called MovieGen. It's like this whole film crew right there at your beck and call. But instead of yelling, lights, camera, action, you're just typing commands and prompts.
It's interesting, right? This isn't just another step in video editing software. We're talking about generative AI. It's a big jump. Think of it like this. Instead of analyzing videos that already exist, MovieGen creates new video and audio from scratch, just from your instructions.
Wow.
You're basically like having a conversation with the computer, and it brings what you see in your head to life.
So we're talking about like MovieGen. It's a bunch of different AI models working together.
Right, you got it. But before we get into the nuts and bolts of it, you have to remember Meta's track record with AI. They've been pushing the limits in this field for a while, think Make a Scene, or their work on Llama Image.
Right.
This isn't their first time doing something like this, and I think that shows in how sophisticated MovieGen is.
So we're not talking like some clunky prototype here. This is next level stuff.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, but enough teasing. Let's get into it. What can this thing actually do?
So there are four main things MovieGen. It can generate brand new videos, it can personalize videos using pictures of real people, it can edit videos with crazy precision, and it can even create soundtracks for any of those videos.
Okay, well, slow down a sec.
Sorry.
Let's start with that first one, video generation. Like, how can AI even start to create a video from nothing? I mean, it feels like magic, but there's got to be some logic to it.
Right. Imagine if you took a massive library of videos and you gave an AI a super detailed description of what was happening in each one. That's basically how it learns. Meta trained these models on a huge amount of data, both stuff they licensed and stuff that was publicly available. They were basically teaching the AI to connect those visuals with the words.
So, like, are we talking about flashcards for AI? Instead of Apple and a picture, it's like spaceship landing on Mars and a whole video clip.
Yeah, that's a great way to put it. Over time, the AI starts to see patterns in all that data. It learns which objects go with which words, how things move, even camera angles, and how to tie all that to the words and phrases. The model they use for video generation has something like 30 billion parameters.
Hold on. 30 billion.
Yeah, and these parameters, they're kind of like the connections in our brains. Having that many lets MovieGen process and actually understand really complex ideas. That's a big part of what makes the video so realistic.
30 billion, that's mind-blowing. And with all of that, it can make videos up to 16 seconds long at a resolution of 16 frames per second, and all from a simple text prompt.
Honestly, it's kind of hard to wrap my head around. It's definitely impressive. And, this is really just the beginning. AI is constantly evolving, so who knows what these tools will be capable of down the road.
Right.
But we still have three more amazing capabilities to unpack, starting with personalized video generation.
All right, let's get personal.
Yeah.
This one seems like really futuristic. Are we talking about, I upload a picture of myself, type in something like riding a unicorn through Times Square, and boom, MovieGen makes it happen?
You pretty much nailed it.
Wow.
So with personalized video generation, you upload a picture. Could be a picture of you, right?
Right.
And MovieGen takes that image and analyzes it, looks at all the details, but it's not just like it's taking your face and sticking it on some other video. It's actually trying to understand what makes you, you, and put that into the video.
So, okay, let's say I use a picture of me in my best rocking out pose. It wouldn't just like slap my face on someone else's body. It would try to make it move like I would.
Exactly.
Right.
And remember those 30 billion parameters we talked about?
Yeah.
This is where they really come in. The AI uses those to analyze your posture, your body shape, even little things like how your face looks in that one image. Then it takes all that and makes a believable version of you in the video, hopefully less awkward too.
So MovieGen is basically creating like a little digital stunt double of you, ready to star in whatever crazy scenario you throw at it. That's wild. When you think about the possibilities, personalized fitness videos that change for your body type, or custom avatars for games that actually look like you could even have like historical reenactments with your family members as the main characters.
Right. It's mind-blowing. It really shows how this technology could change how personal our digital experiences are. And we're just scratching the surface. But we still have two more things MovieGen can do that we haven't talked about. Up next, precise video editing. It's like being able to edit a video as easily as you write an email.
Okay, now that you mention it, you did say something about editing with text. What does that even mean? Like, is it like a super-powered find and replace for videos or something?
Think of it less like find and replace, and more like You're talking to a professional video editor, one who can understand every single thing you tell them. Instead of all the cutting and moving frames around, you just type what you want. Let's say you have this video, and there's a car in the background, but you decide, you know what, I'd rather have a horse-drawn carriage there instead. With MovieGen, you wouldn't need to film that again or spend hours trying to edit it in. You could literally type, replace the car in the background with a horse-drawn carriage, and the AI would take care of it.
Wait, really? It can do that?
Yeah.
So I could, like, hypothetically, shoot a super low-budget video in my backyard, upload it to MovieGen, and with a couple of keystrokes, make it look like it was filmed on a Hollywood set.
You totally could, and it's not just about swapping things out. MovieGen can add stuff that wasn't there originally, take out things you don't want, even change the style of the whole video, and it would all still look like the original footage you wanted to keep. It only changes the exact pixels you want it to.
That's incredible. It sounds like it could completely change the game for indie filmmakers or really anyone who doesn't have a ton of resources.
Exactly. And even for the big studios, it could really speed up their work, get rid of a lot of those post-production problems, and let them put all their creative energy into the story they're trying to tell. And then, on top of all of that, MovieGen can even create the soundtrack.
Right, audio generation. This one just seems like straight up magic to me.
Yeah.
Generating video from text. Okay, I'm starting to get it, but making a whole soundtrack that fits the mood of the visuals, that just seems like a whole other level.
It's definitely impressive. So for the audio part, MovieGen uses a smaller model, but it's still incredibly powerful at 13 billion parameters.
Only 13 billion. Those audio parameters must be working overtime.
You could say that. What it does is it looks at the content of a video. It could be a video MovieGen made or something you uploaded yourself. Then it takes those visuals and creates the sound, everything from those quiet background noises to a full-on orchestral score.
Okay, so say my video is like in a busy marketplace, but in a fantasy world. Would MovieGen be able to create the sounds of people talking, merchants selling their wares, maybe even some epic Celtic-sounding music to set the scene?
Absolutely. And it wouldn't sound like it's just pulled from some generic sound library. The AI actually makes soundtracks that are unique to each video so that the audio always feels like it's really part of what you're seeing.
Okay, now I'm really getting that future of filmmaking vibe.
Yeah.
But let's be real for a second. We do need to talk about the potential downsides. Every new technology, especially one as powerful as this, has some risks that come with it. So we've been talking a lot about all the cool stuff MovieGen can do.
Right.
But it's time to get real for a second. What are some of the potential downsides to a tool this powerful?
That's a really important question. I'm glad you brought it up. Like any new tech that's this groundbreaking, we have to think about the challenges that come with it. One of the biggest is how it could change things for creative people.
What do you mean?
Well, think about it. If anyone can make a high-quality video just by typing a few words, what does that mean for people whose jobs depend on making those videos? Like filmmakers, animators, editors, all those talented people.
That makes sense, yeah. It's easy to see why people might be worried about AI replacing their job.
Exactly. And that's something we need to be talking about as this technology keeps getting better. How can we make sure that human creativity is still at the heart of storytelling, even with these powerful tools we're developing?
Maybe it's not about replacing people, but more about people adapting and learning new skills. Instead of being scared of MovieGen, what if we thought about it as a tool that could help creative professionals do even more?
I think you're right. This could be a chance for filmmakers to not have to worry so much about the less exciting parts of making a film, and instead they can just focus on their artistic vision, on what makes their stories emotionally connect with people. It could even lead to totally new ways of telling stories that we can't even imagine yet.
That's actually really exciting when you put it like that. Instead of being afraid of what we don't know, we could embrace it and see where it takes us.
Exactly. And it's important to remember, MovieGen is still pretty new. Meta wants to hear from filmmakers, creators, AI experts, everyone really, to make sure they're developing it in the right way. It's not like they're just throwing it out there without thinking about the consequences.
So it's more like an open conversation with everyone working together to figure out the future of this technology.
Exactly. Meta is all about open research and working together. They want to understand how people are using MovieGen, what the problems might be, and how we can make sure both AI and human creativity can succeed in the future.
Okay, so before we wrap up, I gotta ask, big picture here. What do you think about all this? Are you excited, terrified, cautiously optimistic?
Honestly, all of the above. MovieGen has the potential to completely change how we make and experience films, but it also makes us ask some tough questions about the future of art, technology, and even what it means to be human. I'm definitely excited to see where it all goes, but I think it's important to be a little bit cautious and keep asking questions as we move forward.
I totally agree. And for everyone listening, that's something to think about as we enter this new world of AI-powered creativity. If you had MovieGen in your hands right now, what story would you tell? The future of filmmaking just might depend on the answer. Thanks for joining us for this deep dive into MovieGen. We'll catch you next time as we explore more breakthroughs that are changing our world.